Images 2, the world's most versatile electronic graphics design system. You've probably heard about it. Images 2 in television, in education, in business, in design, any technique you can imagine is right there at your fingertips. You can choose from a huge library of brushes, or you can easily create your own. There are automatic lines, French curves, circles, ellipses, grids, notice the effective 3D look. And now, changing the colors or the brush is simple. Color Maker lets you create broad palettes of color precisely from literally millions of colors, which you can change or fine-tune afterwards. Images 2 can scan and digitize any video signal or camera image instantly, making retouching a breeze. Whole video sequences can now be retouched frame by frame. You can capture textures or colors from the original and then paint with them. Or you can composite scanned-in frames with other original graphics. Then there's a wide range of storage options available, from economical floppy disks or this convenient 80 megabyte removable disk pack, right on up to a 300 megabyte removable pack. And you can output from images onto any format of videotape, 35mm slides, 4x5 or 8x10 transparencies, or Polaroids. From the smallest to the largest system configurations, Images 2 hardware is reliable, well-proven equipment with local service available anywhere in the country. But it's the special application software that makes Images 2 so powerful and so adaptable. You can rotate and scale pictures, blur, stretch, make block pics, gleams, and reflections. You can create solid or transparent shaded polygons for that expensive 3D effect. Big Paint expands the working area beyond the size of just one screen up to 64 screens, so you can make extra high-resolution pictures. Up to 4,096 lines, ideal for output to film recorders for reproduction quality artwork or to a VTR for animation backgrounds with pan or zoom. Our business graphics and text package makes graphs, charts, and text in 3 dimensions with rotation, scaling, and positioning features. It can fill with a pattern or create a drop shadow. Finally, our new single-frame recording package allows you to record complex animated sequences under computer control using any Images 2 routines, while the system automatically records the sequence. Images 2 in motion. For television, for design, for education, or for business, Images 2, a powerful graphic system for today and tomorrow. For illustration, package design, layouts, and technical rendering, from quick roughs to master comps, and finely rendered reproduction quality artwork, Images 2 is the definitive graphic arts tool. Natal East, a design and illustration studio in Manhattan, uses Images 2 to create magazine covers, medical illustrations, record jackets, posters, and package designs.
These were designed on the system. They had come with an idea, but they weren't sure what they wanted to do. But after we sat down and talked, we talked them into a computer look. And when we had showed them the comps on the socks, they were very pleased, and we worked from that. Then the entire package became a computer-designed package. The notch here was cut out to give it that pixelated look. The background on the sides were finished with the same blocks. The versatility of the Images 2 makes it a very effective tool for advertising agencies and design studios. You can design print, animation, videos. Using tint paint, it works exactly like magic markers on layout pads. Using polygons, it works exactly like an airbrush.
There are lots of built-in drafting aids and a rich library of palettes. Or with the literally millions of colors available, you can make your own. Clients can be given impressive presentations using this state-of-the-art technology.
If someone comes with a rough sketch, we'll oftentimes sit together and work out the final or a better rough sketch. On the computer, we can make color changes very easily. We can make size changes very easily. We can stretch things, move things around, cut and paste things. And through that process, we often come up with something else, something totally different than the rough sketch. So for art directors to come in and use it, it's very helpful. It expands their ideas and expands our ideas.
Specialized application software is available to expand or focus Images 2 to your needs. Color and composition decisions can be made at the regular screen resolution of 512 lines and then expanded up to 4,096 lines for output to a high-resolution film recorder. High-quality text and dozens of fonts are available. Best of all are the incredible creative options, allowing you to rotate, mirror, or repeat images, to manipulate, warp, shade, or create three-dimensional effects.
You're watching Sleepcore, Pleasant dreams.
Sun has made the Unix workstation accessible.
Suddenly, you can bring the power of mainframe computing down to the desktop for the Joe average user in the corporation.
Just the feel of OpenLook, the feel of how that works is going to be very important to us.
And the opportunity for very powerful RISC-based workstations of the kind offered by Sun and its Spark family presents opportunities that may surprise us all.
Every once in a while, a great opportunity emerges. That time is now. With Sun's strategy to widely license its Spark technology and the power of reduced instruction set computing, a new direction is underway. The Unix marketplace, in a word, is exploding. Its multi-user, multitasking, and networking abilities make it the ideal foundation for the era of distributed computing. The major player, Sun Microsystems, with 36% of the workstation market. Sun's commitment to network computing and OpenLook means expanding growth markets for major software developers. For the smaller ISV, the time is right to get in on the ground floor of a major new opportunity. Either way, the case is clear.
The advantage to this, perhaps many hundreds of MIPS on the desktop before too long, is simply additional graphics capability, display capability, color capability, communications capability that applications like FrameMaker as a publishing tool can simply exploit.
One of the things which I think that people are just starting to understand is the decision to license the Spark technology and create a whole third-party industry, which on the face of it would compete with Sun, but in reality will create a very large install base of Sun-compatible workstations.
Shipping 1 million new platforms a year, or shipping at that rate within the next 12 months is clearly possible. And perhaps doubling that rate within the next 24 months is also possible.
And what we're seeing, of course, now is a consolidation of the Unix market, making it attractive for vendors such as ourselves to create shrink-wrap software for that market.
The key environment for creating that software is OpenWindows. Included is a high-performance, fully compliant X11 implementation called X11 as well as the OpenFonts font technology, with 57 scalable fonts. 2D and 3D graphics libraries are also available. OpenWindows also provides the OpenLook graphical user interface and desk-set productivity tools for the end user, while offering developers the XView and OpenLook Intrinsics toolkits. These toolkits, together with the OpenWindows Developer's Guide, offer ISVs a comprehensive, cost-effective way to develop new applications.
One of the major challenges for all ISVs, whether they're small companies or larger companies like Lotus, is to pick the development platforms that, number one, give us our best return on our investment, and number two, and probably most importantly, is to choose a platform where customers are likely to buy your application software.
Lotus shipped 1.2.3 for Sun in spring 1990. A full OpenWindows version is now in the first stages of development.
First of all, with SunView, as with most windowing environments, users get the advantage of being able to better manage their data. And that means both in sharing files as well as being able to access the software throughout the network.
This is all the functionality of Rev 3 of 1.2.3.
Absolutely.
We think as we move forward into an OpenWindows environment, the network capabilities that an X implementation of the application will give you in terms of the multiple windows into the network is ultra important to the customer. So far, our experience with OpenWindows has been very positive. We're using the OpenLook Intrinsics toolkit, for instance, for our development process. We're using the OpenWindows Developer's Guide to write all of our functional specifications with. and also using the fonts and the desktop versions of the toolkits. So that has really, to date, made everything quite easy for us, and we think will help to keep us on schedule as we develop the product.
They'd rather see pent-up demand.
2 years ago, we saw Sun as a clear leader in the workstation market. Here we are in 1990, and Sun is very much maintaining that leadership role, and from all we can project, will continue to do that into the early and mid-90s. So certainly from Lotus's perspective, it makes a heck of a lot of sense to continue to develop in that environment on Sun stations, and OpenLook being the key environment.
I chose to do an OpenWindows port for the simple reason that it is clear that Sun is going in that direction.
Gonna do it for real here.
Mark Ramsey completed a working OpenWindows version of AutoCAD in just 2.5 weeks.
As a software engineer developing these sorts of applications, I'm really looking for two things. I want to make the job easy on myself, and that I really don't want to have to write a lot of software to get the job done. And on the other hand, ultimately, our goal is really to make the application easier to use for our end users. OpenWindows and XView in particular solved both of those problems for me in the sense that XView made a very easy transition from SunView. I really didn't have to do a lot in terms of reworking things to function in a different environment. I did intentionally make some changes in order to provide better performance, and that was relatively straightforward. One of the other nice features of OpenWindows is the fact that they have a very strongly specified style guide. We can really tailor how the screen appears. I can make use of pinnable menus. That's a feature that I think our end users will find very useful for the simple reason that by pinning a particular menu off to the side on their screen someplace, it means that the commands on that menu are readily accessible to them. So OpenWindows is one of those environments where we're really planning to provide a lot of support for those sorts of capabilities.
If OpenLook is going to help Unix, then it's going to help Interleaf.
He said, what do you mean? I said, well,
For electronic publishing system developers like Interleaf, the decision to go to an OpenWindows environment was simple.
A problem is created, and therefore an opportunity. The problem is you get a lot of disparate applications that are working in different environments. The users aren't going to be able to absorb that technology because they're going to be learning. What is important, and particularly where OpenLook plays, it's going to allow applications to exist within a Sun environment that's going to allow the user to get very, very productive in many of these disparate applications. Interleaf, as an example, interfaces to CAD packages, case packages, Lotus. They want the same type of interface. They want the data to be able to be exchanged easily. They want to be able to develop applications in that same environment that their other applications are written in.
The OpenWindows environment includes DeskSet with every copy, with features such as File Manager, Mail, Print and Tape tools, and a calendar. Features which can cost up to $1,000 per seat with other windowing systems.
When the end user takes the cost of a workstation, it isn't just the workstation when they look at price performance. So if I can get workstations at a sub $5,000 price and I can get software that's going to fit on that workstation with the appropriate price point, the productivity gains, the return on investment that corporations go through are going to have very, very quick paybacks, which means that they're going to be buying a lot more and therefore fuel more growth, which will fuel more applications. And the more seats and more workstations we get on corporate desks, the more technology we're going to have to provide for those workstations. And for that customer, they committed to it. They said, yes, we'll do it. There's a utilization gap between what a user has and what the user actually uses that's built into the technology. That utilization gap is an area that is a lot of feature-rich products that the users never get to because it's too difficult to get to. And with OpenLook and Unix being able to make that easier, you're going to have higher utilization of software and technology, which I think is better for all of us.
Informix was really founded 10 years ago on two very radical principles. One was that Unix was going to become a mainstream commercial operating system, and the second was that relational database software was going to play an important part in that evolution. We've seen now over the years that, in fact, all of those things have come to pass, and that users can now gain access to information stored in databases like Informix Online using the simple point-and-click interface provided by OpenLook and using the kind of desktop environment provided by OpenWindows so that users never have to see anything else. Suddenly, managers or typical workers within corporations will have access to systems that until now were only available to the engineers who knew how to use them. This is the way most people are used to looking at the information stored in their corporate database, and has two big problems. First of all, it doesn't tell you a lot unless you search through it. And secondly, it usually takes 2 weeks to get to you because you're depending on someone else to generate a report for you. What we've tried to do is to provide through our Wings product and its data link capability, the ability for people to get dynamic and instantaneous views of their data using a simple point-and-click kind of interface. It gives the user the ability to get at that information instantly and easily without having to become an expert on databases or wait for days or weeks to generate reports, which then still don't give you the kind of dynamic view of the data that you really want. As you look at the market, there's probably 25 to 30 million PCs on desktops today, and that continues to grow at a phenomenal rate. And the reason for that isn't because they've necessarily solved the problem best. It's simply because they are accessible. With products like OpenWindows, suddenly workstations are usable by the mass marketplace, and suddenly there's a very compelling reason on the part of third-party developers like Informix to move our software onto those platforms, because the market is going to open up tremendously. We think that both Sun and Informix are excellent complementary partners to move into the 90s, and that's really the complementary kind of relationship that we think turns into a great opportunity in the market and great business for both companies.
There are few times in the computing industry when the number of platforms being shipped from a new computing technology have ever exceeded what's going on today. And riding along with that and being a part of it is very, very exciting.
I think clearly that, that OpenLook is going to be a very viable, excellent user interface standard. Our own internal people are extremely happy with it.
It's a hell of an exciting time, no question about it.
You're watching Sleepcore. Sleep tight.
When it comes to shedding light on your work, it's time to get real with the Lightscape visualization system. The first software to combine radiosity rendering with physically based lighting, Lightscape offers you visual reality, computer-rendered environments of unparalleled accuracy and natural realism. So no matter how you view your work, you can now view it in a different and better light. Lightscape's advanced radiosity rendering offers unique advantages over other rendering technologies. First is the unparalleled realism in lighting effects. With Lightscape, you can capture the true character of virtually any artificial or natural lighting condition. The soft, natural shadowing, indirect illumination, and color bleeding between surfaces provide a level of quality and accuracy unattainable through other rendering technologies, and give you a more accurate representation of how a product or environment would appear in the real world. Interactivity is the second advantage. Because Lightscape's radiosity pre-calculates the lighting in a scene, you can interactively move through and explore your fully rendered models. Flexibility is the third advantage. Lightscape's progressive refinement radiosity technology provides instant visual results, which continue to refine the longer the process runs. At any stage, you can alter the material or lighting characteristics of the scene to interactively explore, communicate, and even photometrically analyze limitless combinations of light and material. With its realism, interactivity, flexibility, and accuracy, Lightscape is the most powerful tool available for design exploration and visualization. Any field in which light plays a role can benefit from the unique features Lightscape offers.
In many respects, I mean, what an architect is dealing with is bricks and mortar and systems in making buildings, but fundamentally, what's critical to making great buildings and great spaces is the ability to manipulate and control and model light. I mean, architecture is as much about shaping light as it is about shaping materials. And Lightscape, because it's really focusing on that aspect of natural and artificial light and how it performs in its full spectrum of possibilities inside a space, is really a program which is perhaps more directly addressing some of the essential questions in architecture. When we're competing with other architects, what ultimately makes the distinction between one firm and the next is the quality of its work. And the quality of its work has to do with its ability to study and control its craft. And I think Lightscape has really been a very key part of our ability to be more effective.
Design Vision is a company that started 8 years ago and is concerned with the application of 3D technology in the workplace. And Lightscape as a product offers all sorts of features which are of tremendous value to us and to our clients. Number one, of course, is the fact that it delivers a phenomenal quality of image. If you look at a Lightscape image as opposed to a normal rendered image, you'll see that there's a very high quality of softness and modeling of surfaces that's achieved in Lightscape, which is quite unlike any other kind of computer image. The second quality is that it's an actual true simulation of the environment, so from a lighting point of view. So not only can we get a clear picture of what it will look like, but we can actually read that picture to discover what the number of foot candles off any particular surface is as an example of feedback. Thirdly is it's highly interactive, and that's a very critical feature insofar as it allows us to model a scene, so-called solve the model in terms of let Lightscape do the simulation and then move around the final product interactively with our clients. This really is something which, in terms of working with 3D, changes 3D from a nice to have to an essential component of a working process.
Architects today spend a lot of money building physical models. And when you put a physical model on a table, on a pedestal, you do not have the experience of walking through these models. You just walk around the models, and the only lighting on that model is the lighting in the room. Or you put a couple of floodlights onto the model. That does not give you true representation of experience. What we do now, we take you into the building, like the Museum of Modern Art. We take you into a beautiful lobby, and we give you the experience of walking through that lobby before the building is built. We have a better control of the lighting conditions inside a building digitally on Lightscape than the photographer would have in real time. So I can today produce better images with Lightscape than photographers can do with 35mm film on site, because I control the lighting conditions of that building.
Well, I think one of the things we appreciate most about Lightscape is their focus on interactivity. So because of the fact that the software runs across the product line and is able to take advantage of whatever graphics is on a particular machine, that it can run with wireframe and static rendered images if it needs to on the desktop, the lowest end desktop machines, while on the highest end Onyx class machines it can run with full lit, completely shaded, texture mapped environments in real time. What we're looking at doing here is changing the paradigm of design. We're looking to put the designer inside the design. That's why Silicon Graphics is relying on Lightscape for this level of realism, so that the designer can understand what it's like to be in their design before they ever build it.
Now we finally have a tool that gives us the atmosphere that, as a designer and an architect who studies interiors, who wants a feel for the client, lighting is very, very important in that space. Right now we're talking about even getting the client into the model. In terms of virtual reality or the virtual set, that allows you to do that. You could walk through this virtual set, which is your proposed building that's not even in design development yet, and talk about that and get some feedback from all the people in-house in the company, the clients, everybody involved with it.
One of the limiting factors that I've seen with traditional ray tracing is that there's a certain look to it, and that look is a computer graphics look. And what Lightscape and Radiosity allows you to do is create the look of realism, and that's ultimately what we want to be able to do. So the types of shots that I do are not as glamorous as sort of the character animation computer graphic effects. What we're trying to do is create realistic looking environments. And I think as we go on over the years, your ability to combine live action with 3D objects is going to be something that is going to be necessary and add a tremendous amount of production value for filmmakers who want to make movies.
On June 28, 1995, ABC News aired the first North American television broadcast recorded in real time using virtual sets.
Join us for the next hour for Common Sense. From New York, here's John Stossel.
This program's an experiment. If you like it, we'll do more. And part of our experiment is this studio. Here's some common sense. What you see on television isn't always real. But that's another story.
The sets were created using the Lightscape visualization system and displayed in real time to match the movements and settings of the television cameras.
Partly it's to figure out if what we think and how we behave is, well, normal.